And speaking of perfectionism and the body, before I wrap this up, when I was in high school and my parents were going through a divorce, and I touched on this in episode 1 or 2 of this podcast, but I felt as my parents were going through this divorce and all of the cultural norms and expectations of being a young teenage girl, which so many of you I know can relate to, I felt out of control in every area of my life except for what I was eating. And so I became severely anorexic to the point where I could see all of my ribs. I had horrible acne, and I stopped getting my period for an entire year. Oh, I'm so grateful that my hair didn't fall out, but I'm sure that was the next step. But I would restrict everything that I ate. If I had bread, I wouldn't have any butter on it. If I had lunch, it would be dry tuna and a rice cake. If I had like a treat, it would be one tiny square of chocolate. And I lived this way for over a year. And I share that because perfectionism isn't just something that people struggle with that makes them have high standards. It's something that bleeds into all the areas of your life and causes so much discomfort and disconnect. And so, again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but we owe it to ourselves to heal from this. I don't know exactly what that looks like, healing from perfectionism, because I'm just living my life and figuring it out as I go and seeking help as I need it. But we owe it to ourselves to heal. We don't need to carry this anymore. We don't need to show up as anyone other than who we already are. Because man, just the fact that we're here is a miracle. The fact that your mom and your dad got together and created you is a miracle. You're here, you're living, you're breathing, you're walking, you're touching, you're loving. Life is a miracle. And to allow perfectionism to be this dark, heavy black cloud that we just kind of drag around with us everywhere sucks. And it sucks the joy out of life. So let's not do it anymore. Let's enjoy. Let's approach things with childlike curiosity. Let's ease up. Let's lighten up. Can you imagine going through your day and just allowing yourself to enjoy being alive? I mean, I have moments of that for sure. But I don't know that I ever have a full day that goes by where I'm like, oh man, I was just in the flow the entire day. I have to consistently remind myself. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe we just need to consistently remind ourselves that we don't need to be perfect, that perfect doesn't exist, that perfect is boring, that perfect isn't cool. Perfect isn't fucking cool. Nobody wants to go online and consistently interact with somebody's perfect content. It's boring and it's not real because that's not real life. We're allowed to be beginners. We're allowed not to know everything. We're allowed to figure it out as we go. I mean, that's what we're all doing anyway on this planet. Nobody has it all figured out. So let's take a deep breath and allow ourselves to be, to work hard, but to rest, to love ourselves unconditionally, but also to know when maybe we need to make a change, to open our hearts in ways that feel vulnerable and scary because it's what makes us alive. Let's live. Let's do this thing. Let's stop holding ourselves back through perfectionism, through fear, through shame.